Step number 1 to the playbook is your keyword targeting. This means that you're going to need dedicated pages for your general home care services. You're going to optimize that page for home care plus location, generally the general region where you serve, unless you're located in a major city, in which case it's going to be home care plus that name of that major city. It's going to map the word senior care to that page, as well as the word caregiver. So basically this means that all of these keywords, home care, caregiver, senior care, they all need to be part of your H1s and have mentions of them within the actual content of your paragraphs. You're going to put up a page for Alzheimer's dementia care. Again, Alzheimer's dementia care plus city, as well as another page that's going to be targeting 24-hour care, overnight care, as well as live-in care, even if you don't offer it. These are the sub areas of home care that people actually search for. If you want to put up pages for transportation services, respite care, personal care, and so forth, you actually are better off just mentioning those services on your individual service pages. The reason is that nobody really looks for respite care. They just look for home care, but I only need you for a few hours a week. And this is backed on data. This is not my opinion. Step number 2 to the playbook, you've got to get up location pages. In other words, that means that you're going to have pages you're going to add to your website that are going to target the towns surrounding your area, but that aren't exactly where you're located. Right at Home, for example, is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. They're not in Haddonfield, New Jersey, but they're ranking well because they have a page for Haddonfield, New Jersey. Same thing goes here for Home to Stay. In the case of the local Right at Home franchise, you can see that they have pages up for a whole bunch of the towns in our area, and eventually they should build out pages for all these other cities. A few pointers on these pages. To start, they have to be completely unique from one another. Don't just take the same page and change the name of the city. Now, at best, Google won't index them, and at worst, it may be a low quality signal for your website overall. I've seen cases where this was not done right, and basically nothing on the website ranked well. Second, it's really important to get the internal linking of these pages right, which is the next section of this video. Get your internal linking right. All of these city pages and service pages that you're about to build need to link to one another. Getting your internal linking right is often going to be the difference between all these pages ranking everywhere that you go versus languishing on page 3. Tip number 1, don't link to them in the footer. Or at the very least, don't only link to them in the footer. This is the homepage of a project that we're in the middle of working on. As you can see right on the homepage, we've added a section that's going to link to all the location pages that we're eventually going to add to this website. As the homepage earns backlinks, it's going to pass that link equity over to these pages and overall help them to rank better. When we build them, we usually build this as a module, so every time a new page gets added and we link to it, it gets updated throughout the website. I'd also add that it's really important how you're going to link to each one of your top level service pages for each one of the, let's say, sub areas of home care that I mentioned. Man, I forgot to mention that veteran care. That's a good keyword to rank for. Make sure you get that page in there as well. The next part of this playbook is to make sure that you formatted these pages in a way that's actually going to convert. Not only do you want people to actually take action when they land on the website, getting discovered is just part of the battle here. The more people interact with the elements on your website, the more that they engage, the fewer people that land on your website and they go back to the search results and click on other websites. Google takes notice of this and it will help you rank better over time. I'm going to link to our PDF of the format of an effective landing page. You can download that, but here's the high level of it. In your hero section, get 2 calls to action, one for getting more information, another one to book an appointment. Even better if you can send someone to a Calendly or a Google Calendar where they can actually book the appointment. Get your target keyword in an H1 above everything. Make it not necessarily the dominant feature on the page. I prefer your messaging to actually be the dominant feature of your hero section. Get a sticky call to action on desktop. On mobile, there should be a tap to dial and a tap to get more information. Get your social proof, whether that's your reviews or your years that you've been around or whatever reason why someone should trust you, should be right below the hero section. Get into more details about your company. Get into the details about the services you offer. I like having the internal links to the location pages here, but as you get further down the page, everything to overcome objections. This might be the section where you're adding your FAQs like what's your minimum number of hours, if you accept any insurance, if you're only private pay. And lastly, usually wrap up with an alternative sales pitch. In this case, this is a guide to choosing a home care agency, a guide to figuring out how to pay for home care can work. I mean, this is going to be a case-by-case basis, but could work for you. Next part of the playbook is your schema markup. If you go to validator.schema.org, you can take any page in your website, throw it in here, and it will show you what schema markup is on the page. In this case, you can see there's a lot of information that we're telling the search engine and ChatGPT, such as the latitude and longitude of the business, the address, the social media profiles for the account. One of the most impactful things and important things to get right here is to make sure that you add area served schema to each one of your location pages. I have found that adding area served, telling it this is a city and the name of the city, can often help get rankings virtually overnight. Not that schema is a ranking signal, but it is a relevance signal, meaning we're telling the search engine that you are relevant to the search home care in whatever city it is that the page is targeting. Next, blogging. Blogging has very limited effectiveness when it comes to home care marketing, but there are two content areas that you may want to consider producing content around. Number one, if you are not only targeting private pay home care, producing the type of content that will answer the questions that people have about participating in programs where people are given assistance to pay for home care can get you in front of those people and often get them to reach out to you about questions that they have about the program, getting them into your CRM, and frankly, getting them to know and trust you. The second content pillar is about becoming a caregiver. So if recruitment is a concern of yours, you can be the home care agency that's answering everybody's questions about becoming a caregiver in your state. In some states, it's even part of a home care agency's strategy to go after the caregiver because they are often going to bring the home care case with them. This is commonly the case in Pennsylvania. Even targeting keywords like best paying home care agency plus, location goes beyond an HR strategy. It can actually be a lead generation strategy. Don't spend time writing articles like 6 tips for caring for someone with Alzheimer's. I assure you, it's never going to drive you any leads. You can rank in your local market without establishing the quote-unquote SEO topical authority that some SEO agencies will tell you need to do. You don't. And lastly, you know what? I will add a third pillar that you may want to consider, and that is writing the type of content that can passively earn backlinks over time, which leads into our second to last section, link building. So Google uses backlinks from other websites to determine how important a page is on the internet. If you are the home care agency that's earning backlinks from your local Little League, the local newspaper, the home health news quoted for an article, and linked to you, these are all signals that Google uses to determine that you are a trusted, authoritative business, whether you're a home care agency or whatever you have, which ultimately results in higher rankings. These are the strategies that I've seen work most effectively for link building for home care agencies. Number one is sponsorships. Again, like I mentioned, if you can sponsor the local Little League, there's a very good chance that they may link over to your website. And frankly, there's some branding and partnership opportunities there. People that have young kids also have older parents. Second, writing a type of content that's going to passively earn backlinks over time. Like I mentioned in the previous section, this means usually statistics and reference, meaning someone on the internet is writing something, they Google a number, they find the answer to that number on your website, and they cite you when they include it on their website. This is the main way that our website earns backlinks, by the way. And lastly, doing something noteworthy or newsworthy. This is often referred to as digital PR, but basically means you're pulling together data or putting together some sort of asset that you can then pitch to industry or regional publications. Now, what type of link building should you not be doing? I've found that these days, guest post link building doesn't particularly work well. Usually a waste of money and resources. Any sort of like Fiverr link building is going to just get you penalized, or they're just going to get ignored. Don't waste your time and money. All right, last section, your Google business profile. This is arguably the most important section of all of this, but also the most limited in what it can do for you. For home care, you are generally speaking going to only be able to rank in a tight radius. So like I'm in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. All of these results are pretty close to me. If you're a home care agency on the other side of Cherry Hill, which isn't that big of a town to begin with, you're not showing up here. But if you are in the map results, it can be a tremendous source of leads, and it's going to be a place where people verify whether they trust you or not. Your reviews are going to be there. They're often going to look at your photos, any videos that you post. So it's important to get this right. The first thing you want to focus on is maximizing engagement on your profile. So click on here. You want to make sure that you have real pictures of real people that work there. These are very obviously stock photos. This is a fail. You want to get as many positive reviews from trusted Google profiles as you can. So as you're bringing in new cases, after you know that your customers are happy, try to get reviews from them. Now, if they use keywords that you're trying to target in the review, that helps. You using them in the response does not. So asking them to mention what it is that you do or who the caregiver is can be helpful. Likewise, if you get any negative reviews, there are things that you can do to get them removed, but that's a whole nother video. Fill out your profile completely, make sure that you have all the correct categories in here. Doing Google posts isn't necessarily going to help you to show up any higher, but they can catch people's attention when they look at them and get them to engage with your website, which is helpful. Same thing goes for all your social profiles. Make sure you get all of these added as well if you're active there and if you want to get your potential customers over there. If you'd like to schedule time with me to talk about your SEO, there will be a link in the description, and you should definitely check out the playlist right here. I have a lot of videos about home care marketing, and there's definitely some stuff that you can pick up to grow your home care agency.